Good evening. This is SNN, the Sorcerer News Network, because you're not even remotely close to around the clock Disney, Sorcerer's Arena news, reactions, reviews, theory crafting, and more source. I'm Faith34, your host. Today, joined by my two distinguished co-hosts, Sir Georges. Welcome back to the arena box or whatever is inside that he opens up.
Chest. I'm stuck in a chest.
Chest. There we go. That's a good point. Chest makes a better sense. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And Select Sarah, it's good to have you on.
Thank you.
Sarah, I feel like you should write like some fan fiction of what this sorcerer is doing. Like why is everything in this box? Like, are there other people that have the box that he can do that with, or is it just him that has the box? So will you figure out the background of this for us, please?
I can brainstorm.
Cool.
Or is the box different depending on who opens it?
Whoa, ooh. I like it. I mean, not to give you direction on where you should go in, but I feel like that should go in there somewhat, Sarah.
Wink, nudge. Got it.
If you want us to talk about it on the show, at least. Yeah, wink. As always, we'll start the show with your SNN headline news. Today we got a lot of headlines, a lot of stuff to talk about. Big changes in the game. Today we have 4 headlines, starting with the one today. We're going to move this one way up to the top. I already had it somewhere else, but we're doing it anyway. Sarah, computer. Computer, define Nerf.
All right. So it's not the toy gun you're thinking of.
But that's what it's based on, right? It's because they're soft.
Based on.
Yeah.
So Nerf is when something is released in game, a character's ability, spell, and whatever. And then the devs decide that it is too strong, too overpowered, so they dial it back and they nerf the intensity of it. So they weaken it or change it entirely. They could change it entirely, in which case they're not even technically dialing it back because they're changing the whole ability entirely. And if it is, in the player base's opinion, worse than what it was when it first was released, it is considered a nerf.
Excellent. So, hey, another one to add to that. Is nerf like a positive or a sad term?
Nerf is a negative term because it comes from the first little boy who thought he was getting a gun for Christmas. And then when he opened
like a BB gun.
Right. But then when he opened it, it was a Nerf gun. Now instead of normal spells, we have Nerf spells that don't actually hurt anybody.
We do have Nerf spells. So that's where we're going with this. They took the nerf to some of these spells hard. And are fundamentally changing how the game plays. Like right now, a lot of the game revolves around getting to these spells and then using them appropriately. Like they are indeed big game changers. But it doesn't and I don't disagree with it. And I don't know that, I actually think this might be for the best long term. So we'll see what you guys think of it here too. But they want the characters to be the things we're focused on and have the spells be a side factor versus the other way around. So we're going to go over some of, I do want to read what they like. After careful review of spell effectiveness in battle, we found that a number of them are becoming far too much of a determining factor in the battle's outcome than desired. So the intent of spells is to be complementary to a strategy and not the runaway star of the show, which again, I think several of them have been or are. By making these changes, we can ensure that team strategies can be fully realized with opportunities for counter play. Let's go into them a little bit, each of these, and then talk about this as a whole if you two think they're good changes or if they totally missed, where the heck are Army Men, for example, or something like that. So,
right.
Also, they're taking away all the ones that I use. So starting with number 1, the only one I've been farming and getting the thing for are Splash Mountain. Because I told you I was getting it because Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain
Yeah.
Just great rides. I just want to get them. And they nerfed both of them a lot. But Splash Mountain will now only reduce the magic charge on a random ability of the primary target. So instead of reducing 5, it reduces 1. That is a huge change when you take anything from an AoE just to a single target. And even the final upgrade will only be the primary target. It does do debuff extension and still damages all the opponents. So it's not everything is only doing 1, but the main things of what it's for is 1.
How heavy of a Nerf hammer did they take to it? Would you guys say?
Huge. That's the one I'm working on. Instead of every single toon only being able to use their basic next time, only one of them can. And because of taunt, a lot of the times it's going to be on a tank that you don't really care about reducing their magic anyway.
Good point. I don't know if it's that big of this one in particular.
Hey, I'm farming Splash Mountain, and I'm gonna feign my outrage at this one.
Go ahead.
I'm just messing with you. I'm just kidding.
Because I mean, it still does the debuff extension,
which is great. It is great. That's actually the better part of the 2 until the final upgrade, in my opinion.
Still damages all enemies, so it's just the magic charge, which was kind of too much because it's almost like a stun to the entire enemy team.
Yep. Or if they were already stunned, it already extends their stun 50% chance. So again, and this is actually the theme of several of these. It changes from AoEs to single characters. Thunder Mountain Boom. Thunder Mountain Boom no longer charges while a previous instance of its effects are still in play against any opponent character. So if you have the boomsticks out there, it won't recharge. This spell, by far its biggest downfall, it was already slow, like really slow. And then you almost never got to a second Thunder Mountain Boom. I mean, and especially PvP, it almost doesn't exist. So this change was irrelevant to me, but it basically almost guarantees you'll never do 2 Thunder Mountain Booms. Have you 2 used that one much?
I haven't.
I have. That's the one that I'm kind of upset about.
I have had it used against me, and I've never had like 2 instances of it go off though.
I do 2 all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
especially if you slow the enemies down, because the charge is all about on damage. So one thing I wanted to figure out but never did was I don't know if the damage they cause helps build up your spell meter.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Because they don't have the little thing pop up then.
Right. But you are doing damage to the enemy team. So I don't know if it ever did improve it. But because you could stun the enemies, you could throw this on them. They've got 2 turns to attack you some more to help build up your thing. And you're attacking them. Then when it finally hits and they're all stunned, you're still doing some more damage. So you can definitely have 2 of the, like a second one either before they go off or right after they go off and before the characters come out of
Before they
stun.
go off, you had them? Wow, okay. I stand corrected then, I guess. I used it for a while there and never got a second round up.
The main place that I was using it is trying to defeat the defense challenge.
Got it.
I would like slow Shanyu, stun and everything.
Yeah.
And then try and get as many of these Thunder Mountain Booms off as I could. But sometimes there'd be 2 before they'd ever go off. So that's going to make that harder for me.
Got it. And I wonder, do you think the stun counts as...
I don't think the stun will count.
I don't think so either. But it's like any instance of its effects. I mean, that's certainly an effect of it.
They don't say like just the stick, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah. A mortal potion changed to single target instead of AoE. I have no idea what a mortal potion does, so I'm not the guy to talk about that. But again, I mean, it reduces its effectiveness by 80%, essentially. If Hades is a teammate, create a copy of continuous damage on primary target. Okay. Is the potion a Hades thing? Is it like a Hercules?
It pairs with him.
It does. I remember like vaguely skimming a mortal potion and knowing that it paired with Hades.
So it says
it's from the movie though? Like that's where it's from?
Yes.
I think I watched Hercules once. I'm the wrong person.
I haven't watched it for a long time. That's why I didn't put those two together.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. It says, if Hades is an ally, create a copy of any continuous damage effects present on the primary target. I think that's it.
All right.
But it's not.
So that hasn't changed. It's just changing from AoE to single target.
Now it creates a copy on the primary target. So yeah, that's the same.
Right.
Changed to single target spell with AoE damage. What does that mean?
Was that like now not everyone gets the continuous damage?
Right. So it must be that the target gets the continuous damage, but it is an AoE.
Everyone else just gets the regular 1,000 or whatever it does.
Well, now I know why it used to do so well against Simba. It purges all helpful effects from all opponents.
Right.
It applies the opposite.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And applies the opposite.
Oh, that sounds really good.
And then it applies the opposite harmful effect 2 turns.
Yes, I remember reading that.
So this move would do damage, purge, and flip all helpful effects on your team.
That's a great one. Well, not anymore, but...
Yeah, so now it'll do the damage, but only a single target will be purged and have the effects. That's how I see it.
All right, thanks. That's good to know. Next one, which has been and why I actually totally changed my team, was foul play. So maybe I'll go back to my previous defense team. Foul play no longer affects taunt. So that's huge.
Yeah.
For a couple reasons. One, it also puts a taunt on your characters you might not want. But more importantly, like it essentially made taunt irrelevant because it doesn't matter. They're just going to take it away in 2 seconds. So it only purges and copies helpful effects from the primary target. So instead of getting everyone in the row, it gets those set up. And if Jafar is on your team, he'll automatically gain a copy of it. And more Aladdin teammates increase the amount of purged helpful effects that get applied to your team. So basically, again, really just does primary target, which is probably going to be the taunter, but you can't take taunt off. So there's a good chance you might not get any of the
interesting
positive effects or purges at all. So that's different for that. It still does solid damage.
Big damage.
Getting the effects that you want, or getting rid of taunt is what I used it for mainly, and was used on me mainly, will no longer be useful. Blue fairy magic, which not many people have, but is reportedly one of the best, if not best, in the game, is for flipping debuffs and turning them into positive effects. It now only affects a single character. So again, an 80% nerf basically. And it gives turn meter to the character only if a harmful effect was removed, and it no longer applies a heal over time effect. So I think like against Bunny or whatever that one's called, imagination, something.
Yeah, something imagination.
Turn the damage over, damage over time to heal over times, which are great. It no longer looks like it'll probably get rid of it, but won't add it. So instead of, for example, if you have damage over time on everyone, changing every single one of those to heal over time on your entire team, it changes one of them, it cleanses. So it went from being a crazy good spell to being like a broken down Rafiki.
Yeah.
So that's That's no longer an incentive to get that last
Wow.
tower done soon.
Wow.
No.
That's radically different.
It is. I mean, that's probably the biggest. I mean, they all, to me, these are all like game changing in what they did. That one seems like the biggest to me. And although this one's pretty close for me, peanut pummel. Lots of people are pummeling me with peanut. I don't like it because blind is dumb.
Yes.
Because blind is dumb.
Amen.
It just adds, evasion is stupid. 50% evasion is almost worse than 100%. Because it like gets your hopes up just enough.
Yeah.
And then I swear it's closer to 90% evasion.
Yeah.
And it just really like nobody likes evasion metas. Anyway, so this again, 80% nerf. Blind only goes to the primary target. So instead of you blinding my Aladdin and Shan Yu and whatever Sparrow or Mordu, you're gonna put blind on my Simba, who was gonna hit you for 300 anyway. That's what changed in there. And I think they hit a lot of the power players. Let's kind of go over this here. Well, Sarah, what do you think of this? Good for the game, bad for the game, angry at it? Did they which ones are they forgetting? Or are we happy with this in the long run?
I'm not angry at it. I am probably not angry at it because I don't use any of these spells currently. So that maybe I'm biased. But like also to me, spells in this game to me were always a compliment to your squad. They were always there like as an added bonus. And what I found was happening was I was avoiding teams in arena or in tournament based off of what spells they were running.
Oh yeah.
And I think that if you're avoiding teams because of something that should be a compliment, then that compliment is not a compliment anymore, and it's become like a primary focus. So I think it's good if you're trying to put it back into alignment with what you intended it to be. I can totally understand why people will be mad because you are in a position where you've gotten used to spells working a certain way, or you're working towards spells because you want that spell. Like blue fairy magic, you're like, I'm going to finish exactly what you said. You want to finish the tower to get that spell.
Yeah.
And now you have no incentive, right? So I can totally understand that. I think overall, though, it's going to be a healthy improvement to squads in the game and like how you battle overall.
Excellent. Sergi, tell her why she's wrong. No, I'm kidding. How do you feel about that?
I think you make very great points because spells have been broken terribly to where it doesn't even matter sometimes what your team makeup is as much as the spells that you have.
Exactly.
It steals, like they mentioned, I think they said it in their posts, like they didn't want to steal the spotlight from the characters.
Far too much of a determining factor.
Right. Which they wanted the intent of spells to be complementary, not the runaway star. They have been the runaway star because Dumbo's peanut pummel, that with the 2-turn blind on all of your characters, all of your summons,
especially the 2-turn ones. Yep.
And dealing big damage to your team, like that broke so many matches. Was most of the time worse than a stun. Like even if it was an AoE stun, that's just 1 turn at least. Not 2 turns. So, and there was also so many spells that were just complete crap, like 1 star compared to these ones.
Yeah.
That at least now there might be instances where you actually would want some of these other spells to be used.
Sugar Rush.
I think it's also going to change how people. It'll change how people like set up their defenses, right? Because now you're going to be, you can't just be like, oh, well, I'm going to use everything AoE because the AI will do that. Like, you're not going to have that option.
And I noticed two things as we were going through it just now. One is that I'm glad the developers are working to make the combat healthier, not just say, we can't change anything because of investments, so we just got to make other things just as broken, or this is just the way the game has to be. They said, no, we don't want spells to be this bad. The other thing is they posted something in the Discord about they're taking a look at healers with recovery, at maybe buffing them up because it's not where they want it to be. I think with these spells, they were doing the same thing with tanks. Because as I played, it seemed like the teams that did best just have 5 attackers that go first with 100-something plus speed, and you're going to win just because you go before the other team.
And get at least 1 killed before they can do anything.
Right.
If not 2.
Right. And if they throw a taunt up, who cares? Because you've got foul play, peanut pummel, all this other stuff. A lot of these, because they changed to single target, and as Faye was pointing out, it's only going to affect the tank most of the time, it's going to reward you now for having a tank on your team instead of just doing 5 straight attackers.
The first auto taunt in this game is going to be pretty big.
Yes, yeah.
Yep. I agree. And if they were going to do it, it's better for them to do it now versus 6 months from now or whatever, when we're super used to it. And to add another thing to what you guys said, they were painted a little bit in the corner because there's the only way to get better spells is to have too much power creep. Like, where do you go from the blue fairy magic?
Right.
When you turn meter, flip debuffs to buffs. Like, there's nothing else that can be done in there unless you just keep adding and adds offense up, even if they didn't flip that one, or what I mean? Like, there's
right,
when they're putting in new spells, maybe eventually they'll get back to one that AoE does these things. But at least it gives them room to get to there versus.
Yeah, because once you start that, it is a very slippery slope and you can't stop it.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
I mean, the blue fairy, your whole team, debuffs cleansed and flipped. You would never want anybody that applies debuffs on your team then.
Correct. It neuters the entire half of the stuff. It's the Sith Raid.
The other thing I was going to mention is that I'm glad that they're doing this to where it's just single target, because things like Dumbo's Peanut Pummel made characters like Sally, who does an AoE blind for 1 turn. Why have her when you can just have Peanut Pummel?
Yep. And get it for twice as much and not take another turn and this and that.
Yeah.
Yep. So what are they? Who does this help spell wise? I have a couple. One, especially for sounds like more mid-game, toy soldiers are still going to be working exactly the same. So you're still going to see a lot of that. And then I'm trying Wild Imagination, so which is the bunny and the.
Yeah, they didn't nerf them at all.
That one surprises me that of the ones, that one didn't get a nerf. So I think you're going to see a lot more Wild Imagination than you had previous, because that one was already one of the top ones.
Brutal.
Golden Hammer might start seeing a little bit stronger comeback here. Is there any other or ones you were surprised they didn't do within those?
I'm surprised they didn't buff anything.
Yeah, that would have been maybe a time where you add something to.
But I like the changes they made. Wild Imagination is the only one that stands out that I'm surprised they didn't change that to where, because it's still now everyone gets a heal block, everyone gets high continuous damage. It's not just a here's a 100 dot that hurts you on your turn.
Oh yeah, it's the
full power of whatever it is originally.
Good point. So we'll see. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to do this on a regular, or like they're trying to balance stuff, that one gets included in the not too distant future. But we'll see. We shall see. Again, if I had spent money on this or had bought crystals to, like, I have Splash Mountain to level 2 and I'm 30 or 40 up to the next 90. Like, I'm already bummed out. It's like, well, what do you do now? Do you stop halfway through the next level?
Right.
But then what are you saving them for? Because it's not like I'm going to save it for the blue fairy magic now. So I don't have good advice on. I'll have to reevaluate my spell farming. But if I had spent actual money on this, I would absolutely be asking for a refund. So if you were one of those, I would.
Do you consider these to still be the best spells?
I don't know. No. I foul play to me was like the best combo of like that a lot of people had and totally changes it. Mm-hmm. And now without that taunt removal, it takes away a lot of what made that really good. But it's still good. Like, I still think I'm going to use it. I think it's still one of my top 2.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. I think little toy soldiers might gonna have to come back for me.
I think that the only one that looks like it'll improve because of this change is the Duke Kaboom. Because I have fought some teams where just because of all the advantages, or what's it called, vulnerables that are put out there, it makes the next AoE spell or the next AoE character amps up their damage considerably.
Yeah, I enjoyed Duke when I was running them, so maybe we'll get. Do you get more of them once you level him up?
You have
more, like, whatever they're called.
So if you do level 4, then each hit of this adjacent opponent's thing will have a 75% chance.
Got it. Although level 4 takes a lot of time and stuff, but that's also
it's 50%
work
until
towards.
Then.
Yeah. Got it. All right, so everyone keep an eye on that. We'll see how it all works out here. They also are adding a more Frozen characters. So between this update and our 4th news, which we're going to now move up to it, is they've had Sven, Kristoff, Anna, and Olaf are coming in the game, and they've also said Elsa and had a little splash screen in the game that I clicked on too quickly to not actually read it.
Me too.
So I saw someone posted a screenshot in Discord, so I'll take a look at it later. She's probably going to be ridiculous. But Frozen, they added Sven and Kristoff. Sven, the reindeer. I always got him and Kristoff mixed up, and still do, even though I've seen the movie like 10 times. Like, I know who they are, but I feel like Sven should be the guy.
Yeah,
really?
Kristoff should be. Yeah, I don't know. Or they're both Sven, and neither of them are Kristoff.
I call them both Sven, and then I forget that Kristoff is the name of a character.
I always remember.
That's what I want.
I always remember who Kristoff is, and I never remember Sven. I always think Sven is the bad guy.
Or the bad guy, yeah. Because Hans and Sven, they're all kind of that.
And then I'm like, oh, it's the reindeer guy. Okay.
But reindeer guy, Sven, brawler with helpful effects, can increase damage from crits. He's on Grand 3C, so all these are farmable now. By the way, when the Olaf and Anna will be by the time anyone hears this, but not actually now, I think. And does have some heal. I don't know. He eats a carrot or something. And Kristoff is a defensive character that calls in stone trolls for extra support. I don't know. I haven't looked into them much what they do. We should do that. There's just a lot of other stuff to go over. He's farmable in lots of places, both villains and heroes. I think he's the only hero that shows up on a hero node.
Yeah, like where the other villains are farmed.
I thought that was
makes no sense. Why do they do that?
Of that, totally. I guess from now on they just say, you know what, guys, it doesn't really matter. We just got to find nodes to put them.
It does matter.
I'm not disagreeing.
The theme is everything.
They totally. They're no longer doing it that way now. It's the heroes are fighting Kristoff, and he's not. It's not like he's been spoiler, I guess, for Frozen. It's not like he's borderline bad guy or anything. Like he's just straight up a good guy at all times. So it's not like it's some take on like Jack Sparrow could be on either side. You know what I mean? Like yes, ultimately he's a good guy, but is a little scoundrel to him. That's not Kristoff. And he's on Club Exchange. And then Anna grants haste, speed bar, and magic, and has a defensive leader ability. Those things sound good. And she will be in the tournament exchange and on replacing Hopper on Heroes Elite 4D. So bummer for people going after Hopper. Too bad they didn't replace someone worse than that. And then Olaf is quirky support. Like what charms enemies. I love me some charm. Can revive himself. That kind of makes sense with, I feel like Elsa should be able to revive him. But and extends allies' helpful effects. Again, without actually, I don't know what his kit is yet, but they seem to have gotten the Olaf vibe there. Like he shouldn't hit hard type of thing.
Yeah.
He should be.
He's just there for
I guess
fun.
charming works, yeah.
And he will be Grand Campaign from there. Oh, sorry, Anna will also be on the heroes and villains. On the villain side, she replaces Kronk, who apparently I think does suck. So
apparently
in tournament exchange, Anna has replaced Monterey Jack. So sorry, the 3 people that were farming Monterey Jack.
Dude. They need to warn us ahead of time of this stuff.
Right. So that's like if you're Monterey Jack, for example, if you're like, I'm 10 away from unlocking him, and then he's a lot harder to get elsewhere, or you don't have you're not all the way up to whatever nodes he's available on. Like that's kind of a they could just add them. They don't have to take stuff away.
Now the only way
they have a limited slot.
Yeah. Now the only way to get Monterey Jack is a late 20 energy node.
Ooh. That's not good.
That's rough.
Is he? I have no idea. Yeah, that is. That's exactly is he any good?
I mean, I'm not going for him.
What does he do? Right, yeah. I don't either, but that's a good, it went from something you easily get every day, at least, 3 to 5 shards on, and possibly quite a bit more, to something that you can maybe get 1 a day or 2 if you do a refresh on it, and only when you've built up to a certain level and stuff like that. So
the worst one they did was when they removed Demona and put
so she was taken out for
Kristoff.
Yeah, I didn't even say Spin and Kristoff is on both of those and Club Exchange, and they took out Demona or whatever you say her name. Demona? Is that what
I don't know. That's how I pronounce it.
All right, sounds good.
So she was a very easy to farm Club Exchange character. Now only a energy node, or I think she might be in Grand Campaign, but still much harder to farm now. I'm happy that I got her to 6-star from Club Exchange, Club Currency, but that's sweeping the rug out from people that think, okay, I don't have to worry about farming their node for now, because I'll just eventually get to them in the Club Exchange once I get there. But now they're gone.
Yeah.
For sure. And again, like I said, those aren't, in the long run, it'll be great if they keep alternating stuff in the exchanges versus keeping them static like in Galaxy of Heroes. But for now, it's it makes that hard to plan, or even if you're like, man, do I even want to farm this person in there? Because what if they change that halfway through?
Yeah.
Can be something.
Now, so do you think that they will eventually make them static?
I hope not.
Yeah. So to answer, probably yes, but I would be great if they didn't.
I like the fluidity.
I think it would be fun. I think it would be fun if you were constantly rotating.
I agree. Yep.
I just want some kind of give me
notification. You're gonna. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if you had 2 or 3 rows of whatever was in that store, and you knew like this is what's going to be in this store for the month of May, and then in June everyone gets swapped out, and you throw in other people, and then you swap them out again.
Yeah, or at least keep they have the exclusive, like Baloo and Mickey are in the one, and Shanyu, and keep those ones there and are always there, but almost everything else below that can be.
You could even make it just so that one row changes, and then if it's in that row, it could disappear. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Or just keep making new rows.
I think that's the best option here is the coding involved in adding a row.
I'm trying to compromise here.
Yeah, compromise. So are we, Sarah, I'll start with you. Yes. Frozen, are you going after? Because I assume to get Elsa, you need all 5. All 4 of them.
As we all know, you pick your lane and you stay in your lane. I took a hard left and I went, no, we are switching lanes. I switched everything to Frozen. So cool. I just want them. I don't know if they're going to be good. I want them.
Perfect. Sergi, what's your Frozen strategy right now?
I have cautiously started farming the tokens just so I'm not caught off guard, because I still want to be like, if these Sven and Kristoff both needed at 3-star to do the first tier,
right,
I want to be ready for that. But right now they're getting all my club currency and grand campaign energy, but I'm gonna wait till the event hopefully drops tonight or tomorrow, and then reassess how much harder I'm going to keep investing.
I am doing the same, which is really, to go what Sarah is, not the way to play this game.
No, you're supposed to.
When these things come along, like right now, I'm pretty close to my Aladdin being 6-star. I was like, nah, don't go after Sven. That's dumb. Just keep going with Aladdin. And then I'm like, well, just what Sergi's like, I should at least, I don't want to make sure he has a head start and gets the 3-star. And so that's what I started doing. And I'm like, every time I'm like, no, this is dumb, but I want him. Sven, curse you.
I'm literally in the same boat. My Aladdin is, I'm going to log in and double check. He's so close to 7-star. And I was like,
7-star?
Yeah, so close. I'm like, see ya, getting Kristoff. You can wait.
You've been farming him hardcore.
Yeah, good work. I don't have any 7s.
I want him 7, but I want Kristoff more.
That sounds very, I guess, on no, that's kind of, she went more the other way, whatever. But we're all under the assumption that Elsa is going to be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
This is the first one that's really, they've had 4 farmable characters come out right away and not all part of an event. And
that's true.
This is kind of I feel like this is the paranoid side of me, but I feel like this is the sign that you take, where this is the metamorphical, frying pan hitting you over the head. And
to mix I feel like it's with your tangled
biggest
frying pan.
Yeah, I feel like it's the biggest, red flag that you need to look out for. Side note, I just looked it up. I'm 11 shards away on Aladdin to get into 7-star, and I've just been yeah, I want Kristoff.
So, if you really want to be good at the game, finish your freaking 11.
Yes, don't do that.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do.
But here we are, and then you'll have a whole Frozen team of 3-stars.
Yeah, but if you have 5 at 3, that's 15.
That I didn't. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a great point. All right, so on to, I did want to talk about, they also, number 2 was a little bit of
one thing.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
They also released a teaser image before announcing Elsa and Olaf, and where it just had shadows of everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it had Anna, Elsa, Sven, Kristoff, and Olaf, and then a horse.
You mean Knock? But continue.
Who is Knock?
Knock is. Have you seen Frozen 2?
I have. Is Knock the water horse?
Knock is the water horse.
Okay.
I have a Knock doll in there. That's why I know his name. Even before the movie came out, my daughter was all about Knock. So if you want to play with a Knock horse, you come over.
Okay. I'll take a trip.
Go hang out.
That's who I thought it was gonna be after some thinking about it, because I was like, no horse in these movies have been important. Like, I don't remember Anna having a strong bond with her horse like Kristoff had with Sven.
Yeah, no, it's the underwater horse.
Okay, that'll be cool. So how do you think that's gonna be released?
Spell, right? Great spell.
Yeah.
Or it could be something. It's part of Elsa, like a move that she does in the same way that Timon and Pumbaa are like a move that Simba does.
Oh, that would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That's because that's kind of what they were thinking with, in the same image, you can see the like square block and everyone's like, oh, it's a spell, but it kind of looks like what's his face is kicking it.
Right.
Like,
that's his basic.
Yeah.
Kristoff.
Thank you.
Yes,
the other Sven looks like he's
the
kicking.
other Sven. So that's where we're at. I call him Sven. Call him
they both
Sven
sound exactly the same.
They do.
Well, that's because he's singing with it. Because reindeer are better than people. Sven, don't you think I'm right? Like that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I look forward to Knock. That's count me in on Knock. I don't understand if I'm sure, but N-O-K-K. I assume we pronounce it Knock. So sorry. On to now. I'm going over. I'm sure there's more Frozen, but they had the first event come back in the Onward event, and it did. We kind of talked about it last time, but it confirmed like you really just you go where you left off. Nodes don't restart or things like that. You can only have a limited amount. So, like for me personally, I only had a little bit more to go to get him to 4-star, I think. And then you got those, but then, halfway through the event's available time, I'm basically out of, there's no more coins I can get and stuff like that. So there is no like, I'm just going to wait till next time to keep building up my Manticore. Like you have to get the Ian built up first, and you can only do it through the event. And if you're not spending like this to get Manticore to 7 or to get Ian to 7 stars, it's gonna take like 15 events.
Yeah,
more, right? I mean, I'm talking like 2 years if you're not refreshing.
And because the events do not start fresh with the number of the number of tokens you can get each time, or the number of event tokens,
right?
Because that stuff,
correct, right? Yeah.
So that means that people that do whale early have nothing to do next time it comes around. So I think there's going to be a limit on how many times these come around before they become campaign energy or a shop character. They can't just do these and come out with new events repeatedly
over and over
right
because they do give some other, like you get some, I was worried about those feather brooms because everyone needed them, but now they've shown up in so many events that I have like 600 of them or something along those lines. So they do have some other stuff in there too, but as far as like getting Ian goes, you get like 2 shards a day if you go through it and have it set up. So that's we'll see if like you said, they do at some point. Maybe they need to change them to be farmable and take them out of the events.
Like no way a year from now are these still events.
Yeah, that's a good.
It would take
good point.
way too long.
Yeah,
it is like maybe that is like there are they, after 3 or 4 months, then they put them into normal
That's what I'm
nodes.
thinking.
And like what I was having with this run of it was I wasn't I didn't have enough shards of barley, I want to say. However many stars I like unlocked. I didn't have him high enough. So then I couldn't do the next level in the Manticore, but then I had run out of tokens that you get in the level that I could do and the level before that. So I was kind of just wasting my attempts at that point.
Yeah. Yep. So I did my refresh that I got from people. I did it to get the like one more Ian shard because that's who you have to get first to get the rest versus.
Yeah, me too.
To get those once you can't get any more of the coins. So I think the events are super good early on and then start to really drop off.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for the ones like Onward where you can't farm them anywhere else. You know, the Aladdin ones, Aladdin and Jasmine, you can get elsewhere. So by the time the event comes back next time, like you've built up. Whereas
You have a 7-star Aladdin.
Yeah. Ian and Barley are stuck until it comes around again, and then you got to build them up during the event.
Yeah.
I want my Lion King event back.
Me too.
I think we all do. I think we can agree that was probably the best event so far.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because for me, like my first week or two playing, to be able to get a 4-star without my big drop, I think I would have got 4-star without it. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of a very good character too.
Yeah.
Yep, I want that Aladdin because I like it a little bit more, but the Lion King one I want. Yeah, we'll see. They're all good. Then they did have an update last week as well that they can, if you have the VIP for the $10, you can sim up to any completed area of the tower. You just can't progress from there. So I feel like that's a good. I would use in the last tower I've gotten up to I think 6 or 7, but it takes some time and some resets and stuff. Like just 70 to 80% of the days I don't have time for that. Like sometimes that's what I want to do. Like, you know what, I can spend 30 minutes. I want to see how far I can get with this, but most of the time I'll do like the first 2 battles on auto and reset it. So if I was spending, I don't have the VIP, but I would use that a lot. So It's better than not having it.
Same. It was fun the first day or two doing the last tier, the Tower 5, trying to get as far as you can. But then just the repeated attempts, hoping for good RNG that they don't kill these certain characters. Yeah.
And then like saving the like one mythical character you have at 2 stars.
Yeah.
It doesn't
That's
work
what Sally's
out very well.
for. That's what Sally's for.
I'm close. She's like 43 out of 50, but even then, you know what I mean? She'll be at 3-star and gonna die with one hit from anybody at her level. So you just have to hope she doesn't get hit. And they did talk about a speed coin flip update. I think this was important to not only do, because I think they did the right thing with it, but to explain as well. And then I need another computer to find from you, Sarah. So
yes,
if there's a tie with speed to start, which happens all the time because almost everyone has the same like a level of speed, especially the same characters, they will be random. So if you're both your Aladdins or Mickeys are at the same speed,
right,
it's just random who goes there. And then the one that will go after that will be the other one. But if there are multiple ties after that, or like you get through the first 2 and their ties are done, the next time a tie comes up, it will prioritize the other team's one that didn't get it last time. So I think that's a good mix of less chance of you getting hosed over every time.
Yeah.
To have that, and it will give you a little bit more strategy. Like it's not it's just good to know, like, all right, they went first this time, but that means my Aladdin's going to go for it. Like there's Sean, you went, but my Aladdin will go, and then you can strategize that a little bit better.
Yeah.
So computer, define speed meter and what you can do to manipulate it and why it's important and all the above.
So speed meter is literally exactly how it sounds. It's how fast your characters take their turns, and it determines the order in which the characters are going to act. So if you're going out of, let's just say out of 100 and pick an arbitrary number, if you have a squad that has speeds of 95, 90, 87, 82, and 80, your 95 speed character is going to go first. It also determines how fast their speed meter is going to refill once you have depleted it and they've taken a turn. But the reason why that is important is because, generally speaking, you want to go first in a battle. So you can manipulate it if you have any characters that give you speed up, or if you have any characters that impose speed down on the enemies, like Aladdin does, then you're going to slow down the opposite team, which means you will in turn. It's kind of, I like to look at it as giving yourself a little speed boost at the same time, because you're slowing them down. Basically, the more you go, the more likely you are to win, is the too long didn't read version of it.
For sure. And I would say, especially with the spells getting nerfed, like that was part of the thing that could help you catch up if the other team was faster, if you got to your spells first. But now, since some of them aren't quite as good, that may be somewhat of an issue.
I don't know if you've noticed that a lot of the time for me, my spells are ready. I notice that they're about to be ready on my last character's turn before the enemy is going to go. So if I had one more character that was faster than the next one, I would have been able to use a spell and then use that character.
Good point. But alas,
can't do it.
You don't get there. And
Win
tears
some, you lose
come.
some.
I've been losing more recently as other people go by me, and then I start doing Sven instead.
See, this is why we're changing lanes.
Well, that's the opposite reason. Anything else to add to that, Sergi?
No, besides that. So speed meter, as far as I know, the way it should work, like if you're at 100, if your character has 100 speed and another character has 90 speed, the 100 speed is going to go first. The 90 speed should be 9/10 of the way to their turn. Whenever the first character goes. It doesn't always look like that, so I'm not sure how this game calculates the speed.
Especially with the Sean Yu lead.
I'm telling you, Sean Yu is so broken. He is gaining way too much speed meter. 8% does not let you go when you have 107 base speed. 8% does not let you go twice before an 80 speed character.
Yeah.
Broken.
I hear ya. But it's something you don't even like, we'll look at all the stats, offense, defense, all those things. Like, just going more often is the thing that can you often make the biggest difference in the game. So don't ignore the little speed meter. Sergi, I'm afraid I've been thinking.
Oh, yes. That's a dangerous pastime.
I know.
I tried to
remember. All right, not bad.
I forgot.
No, I
was like, that's not my line.
It's not. I switched it around. I just thought it would be fun to see if you were paying attention or not. That's normally a Sarah thing, but
I'm happy to say it.
You were at least online with that. So
yeah.
Kudos, sir. Kudos. Welcome to the I've been thinking segment where we talk about waging and improving the game, very basic RPG mechanics, deepest theory crafting ideas. Except today we're not doing any of that garbage. Today we're gonna talk a little bit outside of the box, but you said something else. The chest. Outside of the chest that you open. I don't really like that you have to press to open it every time. Like, just open me to the game.
No, how does that help them out preparing the game for you?
It's like, I mean, it's supposed to be more like, oh, you're opening whatever. But one time, maybe once a week, that's enough. Anyway, so like this game, I want to know actually, like in movie canon, from the characters currently available in the game, ignore their kits in the game, but like how they are in their movies. What would be the best 5 characters? Like, who you were going to a street fight, which 5 characters would you choose or would beat up any other 5 Disney characters? Sarah.
Yes.
Who's going to win?
So my first character that I thought of for this was Mulan. Because...
A human? What? A human?
I'm like Sir G on this, but continue.
No, but this is why. So first, she's got like no fear. So you want that because you don't want someone who's going to hesitate on your team, right? Yeah. She's smart and she's witty. So if she can think of to aim a rocket at an avalanche or at a cliff so it creates an avalanche and take out an army, like I want those brains on my team.
Okay, all right. Okay. Oh, should we do whole teams or like one each and rotate?
One each.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Sir G. Who's your first one?
So I would want. I'm in the middle of an arena battle, so I can't look at my roster. Let's see.
Come on.
So, of the people, I think that Syndrome was pretty powerful in the movie. He's got tons of gadgets. Yeah. Like, it took everybody to come together to defeat him.
The whole, all the superheroes to...
Yeah. So Syndrome is pretty good.
Excellent. All right. My first one, I'm more on the Sir G side of this here. But normal people don't stand a chance against like Genie. Like there
you go. That's a good one.
Like there's what is the move? Genie's gonna take his big finger and go like flip, and there goes Mulan. There goes, like Shan Yu. Like you can't stop phenomenal cosmic powers. There's something to be said about like, well, does Genie need to be controlled? You know what I mean? But he's free now, and that doesn't mean Mulan couldn't fit. Like maybe Mulan has some like ways to complement Genie. So, but Genie is my first go-to. Sarah, what's your next one?
Okay. So my next one, I was thinking of Zeus.
Excellent. Yes. Good choice.
Because it's Zeus.
The god of lightning and thunder.
Yeah, right? Like if I want someone on my team, I want someone who's going to throw lightning bolts at people. I am trying in my whole 2 times watching the movie to remember if he is defeated by anyone, and I can't think that he is.
Well, I mean, Hades does a good job of
Hades
close at least.
He doesn't count. Look at how skinny he is and how big Zeus is, and he throws lightning bolts. Doesn't matter.
All right, Sir G. Perfect. Good one.
I would say that Maui is another strong contender.
He is indeed.
I was thinking him too.
Being able to turn into all these creatures.
He can like lasso the sun or something, right? Or use his hook to move stuff around. That's kind of hard to beat in this street fight.
He's got great hair. That's what I'm going for.
And great hair. I forgot about the biceps and the hair. That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I Well, I suppose I'll just stay with it. I'm gonna go with Hades as my next choice. God of the underworld. Fire in this game. I don't know whether I really used fire in the movie, but like, he has all these, he's got minions. He's just, not that he can use those in the fight per se, but he has some power. He's also kind of sneaky. If Hercules is in the game, I'd take him over Hades. They've already had that battle. Why would you take Hades? Hercules won. That's the same way I feel about Maleficent. Like, I want her to be on the team. She turns into a freaking dragon. And she got beat by like one little dude. I mean, if you've been beaten by a human, you don't deserve to be on this list, is how I view it.
She got beaten by hubris.
That's actually a good counterpoint. That's actually, like, if you have Maleficent on your team, and you're saying what I'm saying there, like maybe Maui can be like, hey, quit being such a prideful jerk. Or maybe that's where Mulan comes in. Like, you need Mulan to be the coach to those ones.
Yes, she is the brains behind the operation.
But I mean, in the game, she always has that little brain thing above her, whatever that does. Right? Like, her move has that. All right, Sarah, your next one.
Okay.
And they don't have to be new.
No.
They can be, like, I have some of the ones you guys already said on mine.
I know, which is why I kind of was thinking Genie, because you made a good point. But I also kind of want Randall.
Okay. That was no. Like, wild card. I was not expecting Randall.
We're taking a lot of hard lefts.
We are. I like it.
Primarily because he's sneaky. He has super Slytherin vibes. Okay, Randall is a Slytherin through and through. And he can be invisible.
That does help. Yep.
Just right into stuff. Like, I would want that. I would want someone who just disappears and then chokeholds you and you can't even see him.
Grabs the genie lamp without anyone seeing, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
That's a good.
And you can't use your genie if I have the lamp. My genie now.
Right. Sir G, what do you got?
I'd say Merlin is up there. I mean, Merlin's got shape-shifting and everything. Like, his power is limited by what he decides to do, pretty much.
Right. There's almost like they don't even go into the limits of his power.
Yeah.
Like, there's not canon limits to his power. Therefore, we can almost assume they're genie levels or not. They might not be, but good choice. I also had Maui and Zeus on mine. So why don't I... So those are Genie, Hades, Maui, Zeus. I think are the four, to me, almost obvious. They have more mystical powers. But because you guys already had those, I do want to throw in some bit of curveballs. Like, Sarah's, your list is more fun.
Man.
So this round, I'm going to say Elastigirl, especially in Incredibles 2. The way that they use her abilities are like, there are ways for you to get, like, for outsmarting Hades or things like, or she's over there. The way she uses the motorcycle is just cool.
She was great.
The way that splits. Fantastic. I love how they do some of those types of, or, whatever. So a wild card for Elastigirl. All right, Sarah, two more.
Okay. Part of me wanted to say Jack Sparrow just to be funny.
I think you can talk some of that in there, though.
Because see, this is the problem with Jack Sparrow. One, he would be good because he's a drunk, and you need a drunk on the team.
Obviously.
And you need a sacrificial lamb.
You don't, but
the problem with Jack Sparrow is he runs away a lot. So
the one and only problem, not that like he doesn't shoot lightning like the other guys have, or can lasso the sun.
He would not be a team player, so you can't go with Jack Sparrow. Okay, so moving along. I also really like the idea of having anger on my team.
Yeah.
I think he would be fun.
Uh-huh.
He's got some power.
He would just set people on fire, and like, I feel like when people rage, you can't stop them. Like
would he be in this scenario? Does anger like go inside of someone else's head, or is he his own entity outside of and like in the game, or is he?
Oh, that's a good.
Where does he fit in this scenario? I thought about that as well.
I was picturing him as his own entity, but
Yeah.
it would be kind of cool if he went inside people,
right? And more
like,
movie canon to be like,
and like
gets them enraged
up and like amp them up even more so.
But does he do anything in like? How can he help your team by being in your head?
Okay, because let's say he's in Zeus. Picture this. Picture this. I'm throwing fire or lightning bolts, and they're on fire.
Are you picturing that? I mean, that sounds golden to me.
I don't know how you beat that.
Sergi?
Okay.
Again, previous answers are accepted.
Okay. Let's see. I want to say... I don't know. All I can think of is Ursula, because you mentioned him when you posed the question to us. So I want Ursula in this game.
Yeah, not in the game. I'm sorry, does not hit the qualifications. And again, gets killed by a ship. So, but growing to huge size and like stealing away people's souls and stuff, nice powers to have.
Like if she was in game,
right?
She could have a charm-like thing, but it's a contract.
Ooh, contract! I like it.
Yeah.
All right. So, is your answer something that doesn't qualify in this scenario? Okay. All right. So Sergi goes with Ursula somehow. I don't know. So that one's just blank. Okay. You keep it. You keep it.
No. It's in my brain. It's in my brain.
In this scenario, can Davy Jones be killed? Like, do you have to get his last coin to kill him? And if you can't get said coin, is he unstoppable? Or Genie can just again toss him into the ocean, and then it takes him an hour or 4 years to make it back to where you are. So the almost invincibleness of Davy Jones is interesting to me. So my real answers so far are Maui and Zeus, but I like some wild cards there of Elastigirl and Davy Jones. All right, last one, Sarah.
I can't believe I didn't think of this until right now. I was going to lead with this. I want Elsa.
Ooh, so she's technically
not in the game.
She's coming in game. It counts.
I will say this, more than Ursula. Yeah. Sarah, you took my last move. I too was going to say Elsa, because by the time the podcast release, at least she will be live.
It's like that is just she just is the perfect package of what you want on your team. She's going to boost your allies, and she's going to kill your enemies because she's going to freeze them.
And like not just a little bit of power, like from what we've seen so far, can literally put the entire country into winter and controls she is close to on par with some of the others. Maybe not quite Genie level, but maybe she might be freezing him before he gets something off. Who knows? Sergi, you got one more, or are you gonna make stuff up that's not part of the game?
Okay, last one. I want to go with Dr. Facilier.
Ooh, good choice. I like that. I really thought about that one.
Now, I don't know how much of it is tainted because I like playing with him in the game. Yeah. But being able to do all this hocus pocus witchcraft, turn people into frogs, he's got a lot going for him.
And manipulate some of the stronger ones. You know what I mean? I think he could really turn Hades to be like, oh yes, that is the right decision, Hades. And it was not the right decision, Hades.
Yeah.
It was the
I
ball.
similarly, between the two, Elsa was what I was going to say as well. So my real team would be Genie, Hades, Maui, Zeus, and Elsa. But for this, I similar to what Sergio was saying, Jafar with his like mind control and his sorcery stuff, even before he gets the powers of the lamp. I like where that's at. So thanks for the input there. I think those make for some good teams.
Yeah,
I almost feel like sometime we should do it like
that was
a
fun.
rule you can't have magic powers, and like Shan Yu would fit in there. But I really appreciated that, Sarah, you started it with Mulan.
You're welcome.
Yours are definitely the most fun team. That brings us to the Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Right now, we're all in the honeymoon phase of the game. Some of it's starting to already fade a little bit as we question judgments and that, but seems to be going better rather than worse. So we like to keep a positive show and like to talk about things we've enjoyed over the past week or two. Start with you guys. Let's go with Sarah for this one. What's been good?
Me?
You.
I really liked making my imaginary team.
Great, good. Me too.
That was fun. I really like, even though it was like a little tedious, and not tedious, that's the wrong word. A little like annoying that I couldn't advance as much as I wanted during the Onward event, like replay.
Mm-hmm.
I was pumped for it because I finally got to unlock Mana Core, so that was fun. Yeah. And yeah, I'm enjoying all of the Frozen content coming. And yeah, I'm just liking, this is going to be bad. This is what I said I wasn't going to do, and I'm going to do it. I'm liking all of the characters coming into the game. And now the problem is that my roster is going to grow wide instead of narrow and like filtered.
Okay.
We know better, and we're still doing it.
I know better, and I'm like, I started the game like, I'm not going to make the same mistakes I made in Star Wars. Here we are, hard left. No, but I'm definitely liking. I haven't used the Manticore yet, but I have geared her up, and she's already one of my strongest, and she's not even like math. So,
yeah, I think she's supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to sub her in somewhere and see how she does.
Yeah, once you get to that last one, you need mythical ones.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So she'll be good with that. Sergi, what's been good for you?
For me, it would be my downtown villains finally paying off with the gold event, the money bin thing.
Oh, yeah.
I had it timed to where the second day of it, I was able to have 6-star villains and made like 1 million gold in one day.
Nice. That's a lot of gold.
It was beautiful. The event is fun because I love seeing Scrooge in his, big
money pit.
Right. It's beautiful. It's fantastic.
I thought about Scrooge on the team, by the way, because money on your team. That could turn the tide.
He's got a lot of gadgets and stuff. He's got a ton that he can buy with his money.
That's you never know. It might just bring someone else from the other side over with him. So excellent. I also, this has been the first time like we haven't had events for the last couple days. So Sergi's name for the episode is Where the Hell Says the Event. So I like that. That's a good one. So I want that to come along. But I got the defense one. I think that was the one that I 6 on this last tier that I got 3 stars on. So
you got defense?
That was good.
I need to pick your guys' brain on these because I can't get that high.
So
yeah.
I feel like I've been doing pretty successfully and have been enjoying the daily challenges. But the only one I can't crack is the stupid defense one. I'm on tier 5 of it and can do 1 star. But how in the world are you 3-starring the last one, Faye?
Oh man, so this was one. It probably took me 40 minutes, and I had time and I enjoyed it. Like it was what I wanted to play. Like it was a game I wanted to play. Right, and like today I wouldn't have had time, but it was great. They were all 3-star. So what did I use for that? Let me look up my defense ones. So Simba clearly is on the list, and it was all about getting the right debuffs at the right time. So Mordu for a stun and offense down when someone was about to go. And
how built is your Mordu?
4-star, 5 gear.
Okay.
Which is starting to be a problem in Arena. Is only at 4 stars, but I want to finish Shan Yu first. That's irrelevant. And then Aladdin. Sorry, not Aladdin. Jasmine. Jasmine is 5-star, 4 gear. Gaston is my biggest problem because he's only 3-star and 3 gear. So I had to make sure he didn't die because he dies in 1 hit.
Right.
And then Bo Peep. So it required Bo Peep had to get a stun or 2 with her skunk. Gaston had to hit the right archer right before they did to get an evade.
What spells?
So like one. Say that again.
What spells did you
what
use?
Spells? Yeah. Foul play and splash. Yeah. Foul play and splash. Foul play is necessary because you need to take off all of the it worked. It was beneficial to take off all of they do their little charge up thing. And then you just have to get lucky that they don't use the AoE very much. So the time I won, it was the first 2, instead of doing their AoE or even do their little charge up, they just did basics. And then Jasmine is super important right away because at least 1 hit, actually 2, that whatever Raja would take. And then trying to keep Shan Yu stunned. So I got close lots of times. So it wasn't like it was a fluke one, but it definitely took some RNG to make it work.
Yeah.
But so I those are satisfying to complete. And then I never have to see Shan Yu again in there. Hit the whole auto button. So
that's still surprising.
That was good.
You got to make a video.
Well, I'm never going to do it again. So there you go. Not someday if I could. If I would, what I would do? I'd do it. I will do that. And I'm like, how did I beat this? Never even close now. So maybe. That is going to bring us to Li Shang's training ground. So we can talk about who and what we're currently training in the game, because somehow I'll make a sorcerer out of you, a sorcerer G this time. What with again the new Frozen stuff and changing around Demona. What are you going for?
I am working on the Frozen stuff for now, but my eyes are on building up a kingdom team finally.
Come over to the dark side.
Yes, it's not worth going against the meta. And I don't see, especially for a free-to-play budget perspective, the kingdom team is going to last a long time. Because until people, even the new metas of Incredibles and Frozen, they don't wipe the floor with the kingdom team. So I think it's gonna be a good investment. Even though I hate Shan Yu, I think it's broken.
If you're gonna have something broken, do you have it broken on your own team?
Yes. I want the downtown villains, man. They're cool. They, stalk the streets at night, and Darkwing Duck has to go and fight them.
Have you used Darkwing Duck yet? I want to, but it doesn't seem useful.
So his blind spell is pretty cool. Or he shoots his gun and it does an adjacent blind. So that's good. But besides that, no good at all.
Oh god, I haven't even used him yet. So
He
have
looks
some
cool though. All of his move names are the best. Like
I haven't even looked at it.
Evildoers Beware or something.
Yeah. He has some bonuses against. I looked at him one time against villains and stuff or something along.
And then Scrooge is one that I want to unlock, but don't see him being any. Like all those 80s and 90s Disney shows, that's a sweet spot for me.
Right? Like those are. I hear the DuckTales. Woo.
Yeah, we need the Tailspin version of Baloo. That was still Baloo, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I know he tied
Just an alternate universe version where he goes to the Caribbean or something and runs a pilot service. You know what I'm talking about, Tailspin?
I do, yeah. Baloo's Air Force. Yep, it's him. He became a bush pilot and joined them. So yeah, that was what years were that? Was that? Yeah, 91 and 92. Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, and Sarah, what have you been training?
I have, as I mentioned, taken a hard left. I'm all in on Sven and Kristoff right now. I am doing Aladdin in the regular battles wherever he is, and
almost a 7-star. Tell us what it's like to unlock the
7-star.
shard shop or whatever they call it.
So yeah, I'm like curious. I was thinking about that. I was like, oh man, like I will be there, and then what? My problem is I need the gold to 7-star him. So I have to hoard, but I'm really bad at the hoarding game. So yeah. Yeah, them, and because I'm working on Aladdin kind of slowly, I'm also like on the side working on Jasmine. And then
I mean that seems a little misogynist, but okay.
Oh.
Just got some Jasmine on the side.
She's on the side. She has Raja. She's fine.
She does. You know what? Sorry, I'm interrupting your training ground here. You know what's kind of sad? When you have the hyenas or Raja on your side and you win, and they lay down and like die.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's kind of sad the way it happens. Like, don't do that. Why you don't have to kill Raja because I won.
Yeah.
It's just it's a sad little animation. Change that. That's what I want changed. Sorry, you can continue. Or were you done?
I'm done. That's it.
Okay,
That's
sorry.
It. Who are you? Who are you training?
Why? Thanks for asking. Also, like I said, Sven and Kristoff. I got Sven's unlocked. I didn't do anything with him. I've never used him yet. He's still like gear 1, level 1. He's gonna be my new like every day you have to gear and level someone, to get the dailies. He'll probably be the person that I do for that if I don't do it on elsewhere for now until I get the other ones. Kristoff, I'm really torn. Like I've spent too much mental time on this, deciding if I should do that in Club Exchange or keep going with Jack Sparrow. The wise decision is to keep going with Jack.
Take the hard left.
But I was doing a couple of both. I'm like, knock it off, pick one. So Kristoff is now at like 47 out of 50 or something like that. So I'm gonna get him the rest of the way with just the nodes, and then go back to my man Sparrow. He's at like 30 out of 100 or something like that. So hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll get to join you in the 7-star parade, or maybe I'll beat you.
Yeah, you might beat me.
Oh, that's not true. Jack Sparrow's at 61 out of 100. So
you really might beat me because
he's getting closer. So yeah, I'm doing what I say don't to do. Him and Sven, Kristoff and Sven, getting them unlocked. So at least get a little bit of a head start. Although now it's like, oh boy, are Olaf and Anna going to be required right away? We shall see. We shall see. And then Aladdin, Sally, and Jasmine. Jasmine's no side piece for me though. She's a top notcher. And then Shan Yu, I saved some tournament exchange for like a week, debating if I should like go back to Mordu because his 4-starness isn't being great anymore. But I decided to finish Shan Yu. I think that will just make me more comfortable mentally to like not have to worry about it again. Because otherwise, I'll always be like, I should go back and 7-star him. That bothers me. So he's at like 30 out of 100, something like that. So working on those kingdom ones, like Sir G mentioned, but I don't get all the money he gets.
Exactly.
When he dives into the money pit. So there's pros and cons to each. All right, but next time we join, maybe one of us will have Elsa.
Yeah,
and
that'd
we
be
can talk
cool.
about letting it go and going into the unknown. And that should be good. Any other comments?
Okay, the new Elsa event we expect to come tomorrow. Do we think it is going to be Jafar style, where it's just a one and done time? Do we think it's going to be like who's going to be needed for here book 1, book 2?
Do you think there will be books? Because the characters are farmable.
Well, I think they're going to be instead of needing 1, you need 2 per book. So
what's the reward?
Kristoff and Sven are needed in book 1, and you do get some Anna and Olaf shards or whatever they're called, tokens, for the next one to also build that up in the meantime. So my totally random guess is more like Aladdin type event, but you need 2 instead of 1.
Thank you, Disney Arena Pro, Yonks. They just posted, even though it's after hours and they shouldn't be working, the Legendary Frozen event details.
Oh, well then. All right. Super. Yeah, thanks to... All right, table is posted on the original. Let's check it out here.
So
Tier
it starts
1
tomorrow and lasts for a week and a half.
Yeah, the 10 days is what they have been doing for a lot of them. Let's see here. So you need Sven plus heroes for the first one. Then you need Sven and Kristoff plus heroes. Then you need Sven, Kristoff, and Olaf plus heroes. And then you need Sven, Kristoff, Olaf, and Anna. So the order is Sven, Kristoff, Olaf, Anna. So basically Anna needs to be star level 4 before she's useful. Sven 1, Kristoff 2.
The event
Olaf
goes
3.
live at the same time you're able to farm Olaf and Anna.
Got it.
Like you right now we can't farm them and the event starts tomorrow.
So you're gonna have to get Anna to 4-star in 10 days is not a small order to get to that next one in there. So I was quickly proven wrong, but also that is the format. You just don't need 2 for 1, or maybe kind of have that set up. So good to know. Thanks for pointing that out. That is like weird that whereas again, Star Wars, they update things in like a certain time and like only seem to work 1 hour a day. You guys are posting stuff at 9 p.m. their time.
Yeah.
That's it's different.
It is. Like I wouldn't have thought to even check it all to go now back here. A lot of live breaking news for how we have that set up. So if you're going to go after Sven and Kristoff, you really got to hope you can get Olaf and Anna there too. Or again, you can work on those 2 and get their first, at least you can get a couple things of what they're working on. And then next time you can have Olaf and Anna built up. So like we talked about earlier, unlike the Ian and Barley one, where you can't really work on it in between, these are ones you can always work on. And by the second time it comes around, maybe then they'll all be 5-star or 6-star.
Right.
So I don't think but if you're going to go in that lane, stay in it, just like we do.
Stay in it. Yeah.
don't leave when the next one comes along.
My last gripe before we go is that would they need another event to happen at the same time? Like, don't make it 10 days and then 3 or 4 days of no event where you bring back Lion King.
Right.
Yeah, I liked when they like had 3 days or so where they overlap.
Like
yeah.
this one, because it's not a onward style where you earn the first book characters tokens to do the second book, to do the third book. This one we're quickly gonna stall out. Like I don't even know, it doesn't look like you're gonna be able to repeat stuff. It's just once you beat tier 1, if it's like the Jafar one, once you beat tier 1, then you've got this many shards, and then wait till you can get tier 2 ready.
Yeah, it doesn't. They don't say anything like which one of the two that is or not, but that's a good point. And that is, Anna is available on some. Oh, she's in like tournament. So that's like, do I stop farming Shan Yu? Do I think I can get her? I'm gonna have to like. So you need like what? 8,000 gets you 3 or so 5. Anyway, we're gonna have to do some of the math. Yeah, 8750 gets you 5 of the hard ones. Is she like one of those, or is she one of the other ones where it's slightly less? And even if you do a refresh every day, will that add up in 10 days to get you 4 stars?
Right.
So you need what, 80? We're gonna have to math it out. I'll enlist Sarah for that. And we'll get it figured out.
I can do it.
Perfect. The second I can do it really, really reinforced that and made me feel way more confident for sure.
I feel like the listeners come for the theory crafting and stay for the math.
The theory mathing.
The theory mathing.
You know.
That's great.
I think that should be your new slogan.
If these were the laws that math followed, then...
Perfect. Well, thanks for joining, you two. Go get yourself some Elsa. Enjoy Arendelle. And that'll do it. Until next time, Jeannie, you're free.